So, the idea that the Earth is a living being, the whole planet, it probably sounds unusual, but, well, I've been studying it from the science of it for a number of years through the lens of cooperation, which is a process that extends far beyond human societies. This process leads to what are called self-organizing systems. And they're all around us in this world, they're all around in the universe, and they're the basis of every living being. And self-organizing systems, because they cooperate, they create larger systems. And those systems create larger systems in turn. And eventually, they create the whole system of the Earth as a living being. Actually, she's been alive ever since the beginning. It was a cooperative system from the very start, which has simply gotten larger and larger and more complex. So, we've discovered some of these Earth-wide systems. When we blew a hole in the ozone layer, we discovered that the Earth's atmosphere is incredibly finely balanced, and what contributes to it goes from plants and trees to humans and insects and plankton in the ocean, and all these different things add to and create this balance. But somehow or other, because it's a living system on its own level, it's all stable. That's what it means to be a living system. So, smile. We have now arrived at the place where some native cultures have been for 20,000 years. And I don't think that the science of it is really going to get too many people to the place of understanding that the Earth is a living being. I believe, actually, that it's inside of us already. We're created by it, after all. And I think that there's some part of us that knows it. The problem is that we're cut off from it. In our culture, like I said, we're not the only one. But in our culture, we're built, we're raised with a separation between us and this larger system. I used to go to coffee shops a lot, and I would ask people, what they thought of the idea that the Earth was a living being. And I got a lot of interesting conversations, furrowed brows, and people would ask me about the Gaia hypothesis. And then I changed one word. I said, how do you feel about the idea that the Earth is a living system? And I was surprised. About 80% of the people I talked to said, yeah, I feel that it's a living being. And I began to see that the lack of hesitation means that it's somewhere inside of a lot of people is this feeling, this knowledge that the Earth is alive. Well, if the Earth is a living being, that means one thing is it makes decisions. That's the basis, the nature of a living being. Well, from all the way from a bacteria to a human being to the Earth, they make decisions. And we might well wonder what they are. And they have emotions, at least on the scale of the Earth. And I think my feeling is that if the Earth experiences love, how do we as humans perceive it? Because we're so small, we're just a tiny part of this system. We can't see the whole thing or feel it. So this song is called Heart of the Earth, and it's about that question. There's a voice you can hear in the roar of the sea. There's a song to be heard on the wind in the trees. And it might take a while for it to come clear. But the heart of the earth is the voice that you hear. And it feels like the call of the wild, and it shines with the light in the eyes of a child, and it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. Fill your lungs with the air and hold it a while. It was breathed by a camel on the banks of the Nile. Got its oxygen back from the Amazon trees. Then it took the express from the Florida Keys. And it rises with the hawk to the sky. And it feels like that thrill when she catches your eye. And it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. Dig your toes in the dirt in any backyard, and you're part of the earth, whoever you are. The dirt runs under cities, under any wall, from the poles to the tropics, connecting us all. And it feels like waking up from a dream. And it fights like a salmon that's swimming upstream. And it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. Jesus was a gambler. Mohammed was the same. They went all in for love in playing the game. And the Buddha greets Moses over the sea. We'll be brothers and sisters eventually. And it cries out in the land of my birth. And it rides with the dawn as it circles the earth. And it shines with stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. And it cries out in the land of my birth. And it rides with the dawn as it circles the earth. And it shines with the stars in the heavens above. And the heart of the earth is the motion of love. The heart of the earth is the motion of love. Yes, the heart of the earth is the motion of love.